Hi guys, welcome to lesson 2 of our Kipper level 1, our Pay It Forward to the Universe. Today we are looking at the people in the Kipper card deck. The people are the first things that spring to mind when we're talking about the Kipper cards. There are a lot of people depicted in the situations within each card. We have a whole generation of family tree to look at, and also other cards that are sometimes considered people, albeit quite rarely. I'll pop the overhead on and we will look at our family tree. So as you see, I've got both directional decks out again to play with, and starting with our main characters. If you remember, these are our querent and our partner cards. They have no other meaning within the deck apart from being those two people. The other people in the deck all have a core essence, which means that they can be a person, but they can also bring with the essence of what their card is into a reading. When you are doing a grand tableau, the 36 card spread, you'll find that the Kipper family tree, the people within it that we're going to look at now, are more than likely going to be people within the spread. It's only when we come down to the smaller spreads that we often see them turning up with their core essence meaning. So let's have a look. They are the generation of our querent, no matter how old our querent is. We then have an older generation, which are our good lady and good gent. So they perform the role of being older than your querent. They can speak of a mom, dad, they can speak of aunties, uncles, they can speak of bosses or senior figures within the workplace. Their core essence meanings, again, will sometimes come through, shine through with them. And the core essence also adds to their people personalities. So if you think of the tarot court cards, each of the queens representing their suit, each of the kings ruling their suit, it's very similar how you apply the core essence to the people cards within the Kipper. Our good lady is a lady that brings great joy. So it's somebody that is joyous, somebody with a motherly figure coming in, somebody who cares as well. The good gent comes in, he is a news bringer, so he is more formal than our good lady and brings with that feeling of authority with him too. We then have a younger generation in the rich girl and rich gent combo. These are going to be people who are either younger than the querent or refer to friends of the similar age, for example. They can refer to people of an inferior standing in the workplace. So somebody who is below the pay grade or even one of the members that you manage personally yourself. So the 3 generations of the Kipper cards have couples, and they can all see eye to eye. And that's really important in Kipper cards, because when they are looking at one another, it means the relationship is an auspicious one that is fortunate, one that is easy, and one where they are working towards the same thing. As soon as we see our figures back to back, and I'll change them all over, we have an inauspicious view of a relationship. So they are no longer seeing eye to eye. They could be working against one another, or they could be just causing issues in the mix, a person causing issues. I did say yesterday, if a card sits behind the back, then the more negative characteristics come out. Rich girl will get rather bitchy in that position. So we always want, in a spread, our querents, our people, to be able to see eye to eye with one another, to have that harmony within a relationship. I'm putting them all back so they can all be friendly to one another again. We then have two cards which are listed in the original meanings as people. So we have the child card, which would be a younger generation too. It's actually referred to as infant. And it is a card that speaks of toddlers or really young children. My children are already out of this age and already don't present that. My youngest is 13 and he doesn't present as the child card. They will present more in their teen versions with the rich girl, rich gent. But for anyone wanting to get pregnant or anybody who has small children, the child card will fulfill that role. And again, it can see eye to eye with certain cards, the female cards. The other card we have then listed in the original instructions is military person. And as you see, military person was the only card that wasn't transposed in the 1920s. He's still exactly as he stood at that time. He's referred to as a friend or a relative. So it would be somebody on a similar pegging or similar age to the querents, and can refer to a friend or a relative. However, he is more often a core meaning than he is a person, because these people perform that main role of interpersonal relationships. And a military person will come in often with the core essence of being that rigid military person, but can refer to somebody in uniform too. So that's the Kipper family tree as we see it. There are a few other cards in the mix that you will see readers from time to time referencing as people. Dishonesty is the main one. It's called in German falsche Person, which means false person. Its core is dishonesty and wrongdoing. It is really not a person card. You will find this card coming up to show you who in this family tree is actually the one being dishonest. So if you have dishonesty sitting close to any of these, there is a high possibility that they are deceiving you in some way. You could even be deceiving yourself with the dishonesty card nearby. The other card that is sometimes referred to as a person, which I find a shame because it's actually unexpected money. It is great windfalls, great karmic paybacks, etc. And it's sometimes referred to a gentleman in his 20s, 30s, for example. I rarely see him as a person, maybe very, 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 very rarely. I would treat him as his core essence, because otherwise you will never see anything surprising coming in, because he has the element of amazing surprises with him. And then the final one is the expectation card. The expectation card is sometimes referred to as a lady in her 20s and 30s. And you can employ these if you wish. If you have a situation that requires more people than you see in the family tree, you can employ these as people. However, when you're just doing a general reading, they will always come in with their core essences, the essence of patience, the essence of dreaming, even with the expectation card. So I also wanted to show you a transition of people, which I will remove those so I don't get confused. If you are reading, for example, on work or on a person and their progress, you can see the progress through the people cards. Let's start with Rich Girl here. Young girl in her 20s, enjoying life to the max, becomes the querent card of main character 2, then ages and becomes good lady. So we can see an age progression through the cards. We can also see a work progression through the cards, where you start as a trainee, take on that main role that you've always wanted, and then become a senior person within that organization. And same goes for the men. They can start off as rich gent, move to main character 1, and then progress into good gent. It can also be seen in relationships. If you're doing a long-term relationship read for somebody and you're wanting to know how they will progress, we begin with the boyfriend card of Rich Gent. He's not a firm fixture. He's somebody who is a boyfriend, nothing more than that. Moving into the married gentleman of main character 1, moving into the senior, so granddad in the family, or also we can refer to good gent if there is a separation of the partnership between these two. We can see good gent and good lady as exes when they move on. So there's a whole progression, a whole family tree when it comes to the Kipper card readings. What I would like you to do today is take out the 4 main people cards. So rich girl, rich gent, good lady, good gent. And just ask how or which one of them will present in your day the most. It's obviously difficult to shuffle with just 4 cards. So who will present most in my day today? Rich gent, which makes sense because of my children. Rich gent is usually Lloyd and rich girl is usually Nate. And that is just because of their ages and the way they present. Nate is very fun-loving, outgoing, joyful. So he often gets the rich girl coming up for him. And Lloyd is very much a rich gent striving to get somewhere in life that bit older. And then we pull another card like we did yesterday, just to see how they will present most in my day. How will rich gent present most in my day? Oh, change. It's funny, I have a feeling today that he's going to finish school early. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that I'm going to be picking him up early. And this kind of confirms it to me today as well. So then what we're going to do, just to practice those core meanings, is we're going to do the same again. Ask which one will present in their core meaning the most today. Rich gent, of course he does. Striving to achieve. And how will he present the most? Letter. So I am actually sending out a newsletter today with this video on, which would incorporate these two cards. So have a play with your generations of Kipper people. Pull out a person card for your day and another Kipper card to explain how that person will present in your day. And then pull another Kipper person to explain which core meaning of those people would attend today. And again, another card to explain that further. If you post in the World Kipper Association on Facebook, tag me in. Would love to see your reads. I will comment too. And I will see you tomorrow for lesson 3.